Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Larson. I'm a member of the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame, and it's my privilege to show you for the first time our new remodeled building here at historic White Pine Village. So please join me. Again, welcome to the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame, and as you enter the front door on the south side of the building, you'll be greeted by an audio visual of Dr. Bill Anderson. He's a noted historian in Mason County in Michigan, and he's also a member of the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame. We're on the west side of the new Mason County Sports Hall of Fame, and this side is dedicated to the value of sports. So one of the elements we talked about was the values of sports, and the fact that we have 9 values that we've addressed with 9 of our Mason County Sports Hall of Fame athletes. This is an example of Exercising Humility by Martha Garrett. And Martha Garrett Moore is an All-American gymnast who ended up in Ludington. And she discusses here in detail how important humility has been in her life and how she used some of those sports lessons beyond the game to develop her career and to grow her family. So we've talked about the west wall and the values of sports, and now we enter the center part of the museum, which talks about 6 life lessons. So we have a professional, in this case it's dealing with adversity, and it's Jim Abbott, who was a left-handed pitcher born without a right hand. And so Jim Abbott will talk to us about adversity. We also have an example of adversity from a local athlete, and then we have some context on exactly what adversity means in today's world. So we're in the middle of the Hall of Fame right now, and the 6 life lessons that we've presented in our museum are respect, leadership, teamwork, discipline, perseverance, and overcoming adversity. So as you walk down the middle of the museum, you'll see kiosks with examples of how to deal with all of these life lessons. So we've talked about the values of sports on the west wall. We've talked about the middle aisle that has all of the kiosks with life lessons. And now we transition over to the east wall, which is sports legacies in Mason County. And we've selected 5 sports legacies in Mason County. And the first one here as an example is the gymnastics team from Ludington just after Title IX back in 1973 and 1974. This team, coached by Pat Jensen, won 5 state championships in a row and almost had a 6th. And so along with the gymnastics team from Ludington, we have 4 other legacies that we would like to share with you. It would be the Mason County Eastern softball team, the McPhail family and the legacy that they've left with us in Mason County and throughout Major League Baseball. You have fast pitch softball, which was back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. You had close to 100 teams competing in softball in Mason County. And then the final one is the Jensen family in tennis, where the girls were all Americans and the boys were obviously professional players and winning worldwide titles. So this wall of legacy, it's all along the perimeter on the east side of the building. Along with the kiosk, we've still kept the individual plaques from all of the inductees. And those plaques are on display around the perimeter of the Mason County Sports Hall of Fame up towards the ceiling. Okay, now we got into a little bit of the interactive, and we knew that we needed interactive in the museum, even though it's small. We know we needed to entertain some of the kids and some of the families and give them things to do in here. And one of the messages we wanted to send is that athletes come in all shapes and sizes, and there's a sport for anybody and everybody. And this wall is kind of interesting because it shows little gymnasts that are All-American and world champions. It shows Taco Fall, who's 7'6", women, men, anything and everything. Anybody who wants to get involved in sports can compete in sports and can excel in sports. And so this is a good wall to demonstrate that. And if you wanted to take a selfie of one of your favorite athletes, you can certainly do that. Okay, we're here now with another interactive, which is the grip strength. And the kids love this one because they come in and compete against each other. So basically you would think a big guy like me has a lot of grip strength, but that's not necessarily the case, and I can actually prove it to you because I can reach down here and I can hit the grip strength and you can see 132. And you may get another person in here that can do 150, and really size has very, very little to do with it. Here we have an interactive, again, that the kids absolutely love and they can compete with each other. And it's reaction time. And again, in sports, just like grip strength is so important, reaction time is absolutely critical. Here's another one of our interactives, and it's my favorite. It's sports trivia. Let me share a couple with you right now. Number 4 in gymnastics, and that's Simone Biles' number of gold medals she won in a single year. You have 99, of course, everyone knows that that's Wayne Gretzky's number. A lot of the museum, as you've noticed, is about inspiration and motivation. And it's directed more towards the younger demographic. So you will see throughout the museum multiple quotes by lots of different athletes in different sports. And here's a couple we wanted to share with you. This is Jimmy Valvano. Never give up. Failure and rejection are only the first step to succeeding. And then you've got one by Derek Jeter, shortstop for the New York Yankees. There may be people that have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do. So these kinds of quotes, I enjoy them. I think the people that visit enjoy them as well. And there's a lot of messaging associated with some of these quotes. So that basically concludes the visit of the museum. But we wanted to touch on a couple very important things. The fact that we are extending and expanding the vision and the mission of the museum to include beyond the game, the value of sports. And we wanted to be sure and thank all of the volunteers that have helped us build this new facility. We couldn't have done it without them, and we did it on a budget just over $100,000, and it's because of the contractors and the board members and the volunteers that made such a significant contribution, assisting us to bring this facility to a reality. And we would encourage all of you to come out, take a look. I think you'll enjoy it, but especially bring your children, bring your families, bring your coaches, teachers. I think they'll enjoy it. Thank you very much.